Everything is about awareness. In this video, I want to bring to your awareness some things, some practices that you probably have never even heard of to begin to enhance your current reality and your human experience. These are things that force us to get out of the norm and get out of the way, the normal way that we've been programmed to do things. These are things that you can begin to do with your mind, body, and soul that will allow you to begin to awaken to this whole other world that is available for us. This world that takes us out of the matrix, that takes us out of this normal way of thinking that we've been programmed to do. The first few things that I have are actually great for the nervous system and alignment and just being able to regulate your cells within your body, because when your cells are dysregulated, it's really hard for you to function. So the first thing I have is ice plunge. Ice plunges are a great way to reset your nervous system, to get you into a state of balance. There have been so many studies done, and I'll try to link a few down below that show the benefits of taking cold showers, of ice plunging, and this is something that you can begin to incorporate in your daily routine. If you're someone who takes showers in the rising, you can opt into taking a cold shower, because what you're doing in this moment is you're causing your body to be extremely present. I'll leave some studies down below. It is currently, I think, like 8 o'clock in the morning right now, so I haven't had a chance to fully think about all the scientific terms that I want to include in this video. But if you're someone who has been thinking about doing ice plunges or starting to take cold showers, there is scientific evidence to show that this is very beneficial, not only for your health, but your mind, body, and spirit. Next, we have saunas. So typically what I like to do is go into the sauna, and then after the sauna, I'll have an ice plunge or an ice bath, or take a cold shower, because when you're in the sauna, what you're doing is you're allowing toxins to leave your body in a way that we aren't used to, because a lot of people don't sweat. A lot of people go weeks without actually sweating, and your skin is one of the largest organs in your body that excretes toxins. So by going into the sauna, you're inducing this excretion process that is so crucial to removing toxins from the body. You're actively creating this environment for your body to release. And as I mentioned, a lot of people are so used to the daily monotonous schedule that they forget to sweat, and so all of these toxins are just sitting built up inside of them. And by going to the sauna, you are able to incorporate this into your weekly or even daily practice if you can. We also eliminate through our urine, through our feces, through mucus, and through many other ways, but going to the sauna will help to speed up this process. And it's also great for your mental health. Being in the sauna is a great way for you to meditate and relax and really sit into your body and understand how to regulate your breathing and how to regulate your thoughts, because the longer you sit, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. The next thing that I have is squatting. So we sit in chairs all day long. I'm sitting in a chair currently. However, what I've been doing a lot more lately is just squatting. And I'll have to show a picture of what this looks like. But when you're doing this, you are returning back to the original form that we as humans have always known. Chairs are very new. Chairs have come into our reality as of just a few hundred years. Our ancestors were squatting. They were squatting to eat. They were squatting to use the bathroom. They were squatting to commune. They were squatting to even rest and meditate. And so by doing this, you are helping the alignment of your spine that has been so conditioned to be in a 90-degree angle. You're allowing it to return back to its natural form. You're also adding more flexibility to your body, and we just don't squat enough. And so as a result of this causes problems down the line for many people. This is why a lot of people suffer from arthritis, or they have back issues, or they can't even stand up straight, because they're so conditioned to be in a 90-degree angle. We use the bathroom in a 90-degree angle. If you are able to get rid of your bed frame, that would be amazing. I spent many years sleeping with my mattress on the ground, and this is not because I couldn't afford a bed frame. It was simply because it just felt right, and I knew that I was onto something. I didn't exactly have the reasoning as to why. It just felt better. And many cultures you'll study and see that they actually sleep on very thin futons that are on the ground. This is super beneficial for many things. It's not just the fact that they are lower to the ground when they're sleeping, which you should be. They're also able to create more mobility and flexibility, so as they get older in age, they don't develop things such as arthritis because they're so used to coming from the squatting position and standing up from there. They garden in this position, they eat in this position. So if you study some of the blue zones, and I'll link that down below as well if you're unfamiliar with what blue zones are, these are zones where people live to be over 100 years old. Centurions is what they call them. And through studies, they've seen that these people are very mobile, they're very flexible, they move all day long. They're not doing things the traditional way that we've been taught to growing up in certain societies. So, squatting, great thing to start doing, incorporating in your daily meditation, in your daily practice, even if it's just for 10-15 minutes a day, just stepping away from the desk, stepping away from the chair, and just squat, okay? This is also really great for digestion. Why? Because our digestive tract was designed for us to squat when we go to the restroom. The reason why a lot of people have digestive issues, they have colon issues, is because they are not fully releasing. And why is that? Because our bodies weren't meant to release at a 90-degree angle, which all toilets are sitting at a 90-degree angle. So that being said, you want to make sure that you are squatting of some sort. You can add a stool. You can just prop your feet up onto the toilet seat. It's going to feel very uncomfortable at first, but you'll start to see over time that you'll have more full and complete movements versus you basically just having a half a movement and the rest of it is sitting there, and then that develops over time. And you can see how this cycle, this repetitive cycle, creates dis-ease in the body. I briefly touched on the mattress situation, sleeping on the floor, sleeping on the ground. If you can, I say once a month, try to sleep outside if that's something that you have access to or the ability to do, because that in itself is one of the best ways to single-handedly reprogram and enhance your cellular structures, because your body desires to be in nature, and nature brings the body back to its whole state. So if you're able to sleep on the ground, or even just going outside and grounding throughout the day for 30 minutes to an hour with your feet in the grass, your body in the grass, just absorbing the nature around you and the earth's natural healing abilities, you will begin to see that you not only feel better mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but also physically. So yeah, if you can try to, put your mattress on the ground, see how that feels. It's going to feel weird for a little bit because we're not used to it. But you'll start to see not only do you sleep better, you have better mobility, better flexibility. You start doing things differently, right? The next thing that I have in alignment with this is get rid of your pillows. Get rid of your pillows. I know that sounds crazy because you probably are sleeping on the best pillow that money can buy. And I understand it. I get it. I was there. I used to do the same thing. But something happened about 2 years ago where I just had this download to get rid of my pillows. And originally it was because I was dealing with acne. I had a lot of acne and I just couldn't figure out. I was like, I'm eating right. I reset my gut. I'm not putting anything on my face. My hair is up. All of that. And it was that moment where I realized, let me try this. Let me stop sleeping on my pillows and see. And mind you, this is after me getting new pillows. I washed them. I did everything I could. But then I was like, let me just get rid of them altogether. And lo and behold, my acne went away. Why? Because our pillows not only contain forever chemicals, they contain chemicals that are not meant to be anywhere near our body. And if we're sleeping and our face is on it for 6 to 8 hours a day, we spend most of our time in contact with these pillows. And so my body was physically rejecting the chemicals that were in this pillow, and God forbid if it's dirty. So if you haven't washed or changed your pillow in quite some time, this might be the single thing that is causing any dis-ease or any sort of mental fog that you're experiencing. Not only is it beneficial to get rid of it for that reason, there are also other reasons as to why we shouldn't be using pillows. It has to do with your spinal alignment. As I get deeper into some of the lectures that I want to create for my channel and for you all, you'll start to see how important the spine is in everything that we do. Once you start to enhance or incorporate some of these things into your life, you'll start to see that your alignment comes back. And with that comes the clarity, it comes the lack of dis-ease, because your spine is what holds all of this together. Your nervous system is traveling through your spine. So if your spine is out of alignment, how can your nerves send the proper signals that are necessary for you to experience your external world? This idea that we need this comfort, this softness, these cushions, these forever chemicals, is the very thing that could be causing a lot of people pain and discomfort. Over time, your body will adjust, your body will adapt. And this is all preparing you for the next level, which is where I'm in the midst of essentially being like, forget it all together. Like, I don't need a mattress. I don't need a bed. I will sleep on the ground. I will sleep on a futon, or I eventually would love to sleep outside. All of this is to get you to come back to a remembrance of self. But most importantly, the first step is for you to reprogram what you have always believed to be true. The next few has to do with fasting and detoxing the body to create avenues and channels of clarity, because we spent most of our lives filling our bodies with toxins. How often do people fast? How often do people detox what is currently there, from the toxins from the environment, the toxins from the food that they're eating, the toxins from the people that they're spending their time with, the toxins from the beliefs and the habits and the negative thoughts that have been replaying over and over again? We don't detox enough from all of those things that have built up over time. And so fasting and detoxing are great ways to additionally clear the vessel. These little things begin to build up over time, and you begin to become a person that is unrecognizable to others, unrecognizable to yourself, but closer to your truth and your authenticity and who you were always meant to be. Fasting and detoxing is something that I will spend more time on, and if you're curious about how to begin to do that in a way that isn't overwhelming, in a way that you will see results, I have a free guide down below. Be sure to check that out. I have additional resources in my community specifically for detoxing and fasting, because a lot of people are intimidated by these things that are the very tools necessary for us to begin to change our reality. We have to first get rid of the blockages. We have to first get rid of what's holding us back, the toxins, everything that's been built up over time. The next couple of things that I have are just, some things that I think people have forgotten about. Things like taking care of yourself, go getting massages, get a facial, go to the spa for the day. When you feel relaxed is when you can do your best work. It's when the things that you've always desired, the things that you're manifesting, are able to make their way to you, because when your nervous system is out of alignment, when you're feeling frantic, feeling frustrated, when you're feeling all these feelings, it makes it really hard for opportunities and for things to make it into your reality, because you are not in a space of receiving. So when you do things like taking care of your body, getting a massage, going to the spa for the day, relaxing, or just going near a body of water, you calm down to a point where now things can enter your reality. Things can enter your field, your auric field. This includes people, this includes opportunities, this includes great food, great adventures, etc. So don't forget to relax. While you're doing all this, making sure that you're feeding yourself the inputs that are going to enhance your experience. So these are things like herbs, sea moss, listening to positive motivational videos on YouTube, or things that allow you to learn new information, gain wisdom, gain knowledge, not things that are going to degrade you or to degrade others, which in turn is degrading yourself, because we are all one. And then staying hydrated. This water needs to have electrolytes, you need to have minerals, you need to have water that is going to hydrate each and every one of your cells, not just water that you're just drinking to drink. So you want to make sure that you are staying hydrated. I love to drink coconut water, and if I don't have coconut water, I'll have some sort of mineral water. Like right now, I'm drinking mineral water from the Andes. Yes, because drinking water is not going to it's not going to do it. You have to make sure that you're getting the proper minerals and hydration that your body needs, your cells need. Remember, all of this comes back to, what does the body need? You need to give it what it needs to enhance its functionality, and then through the body you can enhance the mind, and through the mind you connect to spirit, right? So coconut water, if you're unsure of which water to get, coconut water has everything you could possibly need. You can even fast on it. You can do so many things with coconut water because it contains all the minerals, the essential minerals and vitamins that we need in order to function as a superior being. The last thing I have is surrounding yourself with frequencies and high vibrational music. This has been something that has been enhancing my own experience that I've been looking forward to. If I want to listen to music now, what I do is I turn on frequencies, or I turn on something that's going to make me feel good. And when you instantly shift into a state of feeling good, your vibration changes as a result. So that's just one life hack. All of these things that I've mentioned are single-handedly going to change your frequency and raise you into a higher vibration, because again, through the body we're able to access the mind, and through the mind we are able to connect to spirit.